afternoon to all our viewers on MAQ TV as we continue our program leading up to this year's Cricket Hall of Fame, U.S. Cricket Hall of Fame induction ceremony. It gives me great pleasure to welcome a Hall of Famer, a man who has been inducted into the Hall of Fame 4 years ago. And it seems like just yesterday, a very young man, if you look at him. Of course, the only thing that is probably not right with him today is he's telling me he's a Jamaica Talawahs supporter, and the Jamaica Talawahs exited the CPL by 9 wickets this morning to the Trinbago Knight Riders, and they will miss out in the finals. Having said that, let me say a warm welcome and good afternoon to Bassett Thompson. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having me.
Of course, the Talawahs not performing that great today.
Yeah, no, I'm still representing. I'm a huge Talawah fan.
Of course, you, as you said off air, they're probably missing Chris Gayle.
Yes, Chris Gayle is one of my favorite all-time players. A person I know personally, so, you know, I'm always on his side.
Well, let's get down into the meat of the matter today. Which part of the U.S. you hail from? Which part of the U.S., United States, you hail from?
I live in New York.
And how has the COVID-19 treated you and the people in your neighborhood?
Well, not too good. You know, we had to cancel our high school cricket season.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of cricketers, high school cricketers, you know, that's the only sport they play, and we had to cancel. Well, all spring sports were canceled. And on a personal level, you know, I was tested positive for the antibodies, which means I had the virus. But thank God I'm fully recovered. Oh,
well, you're actually the first person that we are interviewing who would have tested positive for the virus. Tell us, what an ordeal was it?
You know, for me, it wasn't that severe. I just didn't feel myself. You know, like they were saying in Jamaica, you just feel away, which means you don't feel right. But I suspected that's what it was, so I quarantined myself at home. You know, luckily my house was big enough where I could stay on one side, my wife and kids would stay on the other side, and I, you know, kind of treated myself.
So you're probably down for about 2 weeks.
Well, in my case, it was more than that. I was down for a while until I, you know, thought I was ready. Then I quarantined, if that's the word.
Yeah, reintegrated into society, so to speak.
Yes, yes.
But what's your message for people who are still out there and they haven't gotten, you know, the virus? Thankfully, they haven't gotten the virus. What's your message for them, though?
My message to them is, you know, don't try to get it. I see a lot of people out there, it's as if they're trying to get it. They don't wear a mask. They don't social distance. You know, they partying with a whole bunch of people. You know, that's asking for trouble. You know, not everyone is as lucky as I am. I know 2 or 3 people who got it, and, you know, they're not with us anymore.
Yeah, it's very sad indeed. But what is the situation now? Are things opening back up? You know, you said that the cricket is out of the way. Are there people still going to the parks and probably playing a little cricket?
Yes, but, you know, they're told to be careful, you know, social distance, wear masks, but they was, you know, we just started playing cricket again here in New York.
And have you been to the parks in recent times?
No, because I'm still a little apprehensive of going among, you know, everyone else, because not everyone follow the rules like I do. So, you know, I'm currently working from home. You know, I'm in my home office as we speak. Mm-hmm. So you know, even though I got it and I have the antibodies, you know, who knows? I'm supposed to be immune for life, but we don't know that for sure. So I'm still being cautious. You know, high school cricket is my passion here, and you know, we missed it this past spring, but we'll be back next year.
Well, you've been inducted into the Hall of Fame, as I said before, and that happened 4 years ago. The good guys at the U.S. Cricket Hall of Fame, they probably, you know, noticed the work that you would have done for cricket. Tell us a bit about your cricketing history.
Well, you know, going back to my Jamaica days, I was about 15 years old. I was on the under-19 team, but moved to New York my passion was always to have high school cricket, you know, because everyone knows, everyone who played cricket played high school cricket. So in the 2007, 2008 year, I was selected as the cricket commissioner for New York City public high schools.
Mm-hmm.
You know, PSAL, it's the acronym which means Public School Athletic League. We're the largest sports league in the entire country. So we started cricket in high school in New York. And so far, there's hundreds of cities in this country. We're the only one that has cricket as a varsity sport.
Wow, that's wonderful indeed. That's quite an achievement, you know, to get cricket and make that breakthrough with cricket, which, as we all know, is not a mainstream sport in America. How difficult it was, though, to gain that recognition?
Initially, you see, New York City is a melting pot, and we have people from all different backgrounds. So when we decided to bring cricket into high school, you know, to a varsity sport, which means we're the same as basketball and football and baseball, we're supposed to be treated the same, you know, except we don't get the press coverage. We started with about 120 kids playing cricket, which, you know, I thought that was a lot for first having cricket in the country in high school. And it progresses year by year. You know, right now we have almost 700 kids every year playing high school cricket in New York City.
700?
Yes, that's a big number.
That's a huge number, especially for, as I said before, for America. How far has any one of these kids reached that you can really speak about?
A lot of them has represent the United States in the under 17 and the under 19 level. Mm-hmm. In fact, I was the manager for the under 19 team on a couple of occasions. And, you know, we did have a few of our players who could have had more, but I have no idea who the selectors were, why we weren't selected. But we have a lot of talent here in high school.
So you're basically saying you have the blueprint to get it as a varsity sport. Have you and your people across there in New York done anything to really, you know, go from state to state, meet with people, let's say Florida, where you have MAQ, who has done so much for cricket, to meet with them, to show them this blueprint and work together to achieve that sort of, what should I say, that sort of interest in the sport?
That's on the way. So far, no. But I was just appointed or selected by USA Cricket to be part of their developmental committee. And my goal is to develop cricket in all 50 states. I mean, I get a little jealous with my fellow commissioners because they can schedule a match or a game with other states. You know, they take the football team to Illinois, or they take the basketball team to Washington or wherever. You know, I would like to do that one day, to take my cricket team to somewhere else in the country, you know, to a different state to play high school cricket. You know, as we all know, high school cricket, high school in general, is very important to sports. I remember when the NBA used to draft players directly from high school.
Yeah.
Baseball, they still draft players directly from high school. So my dream, one of these days, we'll have a draft, a cricket draft, whether it's high school or college.
I guess for that to happen, you will have to have buy-in from the other states. And probably this is why, you know, your idea of moving from state to state, you know, could really lead to something like that.
Yeah, but someone has to approach them. They're not just going to get up one day like I did and said, let's put cricket into part of our sports league. You know, someone has to, and hopefully this committee and, you know, what have you, they'll go from state to state or from school to school. And I'm sure the interest is there, you know. I'm a Jamaican, and everywhere I go, there are Jamaicans. So everywhere in this country, there are people from cricket playing country.
Well, at the end of the day, you know, the diaspora is who really plays the sport. You know, the West Indian diaspora, the Indian diaspora, the Pakistani diaspora as well. I know that the guys down in Fort Lauderdale, they have been visiting some of the schools on the CC USA banner to try and push the sport there. as well. There's also an academy, a cricket academy at the MAQ International Cricket Stadium. So at the end of the day, something is being done, and one hopes that it catches on. But what I want to do is to take you back a bit to the year that you were inducted. Was it a surprise to you?
It was a surprise. It was a surprise, but it was one of the greatest feelings I've ever had in my life. I mean, when I look at all the other members of the Cricket Hall of Fame, and I see names like Garfield Sobers and Viv Richards and Michael Holden. I mean, I'm in the same fraternity with these guys. It's a great feeling. I'm not a jewelry guy, right? I don't wear my wedding ring, but I very rarely take off my Hall of Fame ring. That's how proud I am of being in the Hall of Fame.
Yes, yes, wonderful indeed. I'm sure that you have no questions to answer at home about that, but you're very proud of that. Tell us a bit about the Hall of Fame and the effort that these guys are making to recognize good people like yourself.
I mean, I'm very proud of the Hall of Fame. You know, when you're recognized by your peers, you're selected by your peers, and you're appointed or inducted by your peers, it's a good feeling. You know, most of us don't do this for the recognition, but it's a good feeling to be recognized. And obviously, someone saw me, and I must say congratulations to all the other inductees. That means someone saw something in you, someone and a bunch of someones, so that you're doing good for cricket, and you'll continue to do good for cricket. So congratulations. It's a nice fraternity to be in. Almost everyone I know that's a Hall of Famer, it's a super person and well-deserved.
Well, before we close off this interview, I just want to ask you, are you happy with the current state of development in the United States in terms of cricket? And if so, or if not, what would you like to see happen in the short term, the medium term, and obviously the long term?
Well, happy for New York City. I'm kind of happy with the state of cricket in high school. I mean, we have student athletes who would not be playing any other sport. You know, it's part of their culture. They want to play cricket. They're happy. We have coaches, you know, they make more than $60 an hour, whether they win one match or they win the championship. They're happy. We have umpires who get paid well by the city to umpire a high school match. And the state of cricket here, it's moving and it's going well. Nationally, not so well. You know, what I would like to see, and hopefully I'll help develop, is like the baseball Little League. We have a Little League team all over the country, from ages 5 to 12. And we'll have a Little League tournament all over the country. And we'll crown a national champion. And this national champion will get a chance to play one of these world-powered teams. You know, this will generate a lot of interest for television. We all know sports in America and TV go hand in hand.
Well, I think, yes, definitely. Sports anywhere now in the world and television goes hand in hand. That is where the big revenue dollars come from. And one hopes that it catches on in America, because if it catches on, that's a huge market, as we all know.
It's a huge market.
Serious boost for cricket.
Yeah, and there's so many cable TVs and what we have nowadays that we didn't have when I was growing up. If these people get exposed on television, so much better. And this will generate interest in terms of sponsors. And that's why I think MAQ TV and the 2020, you know, T20 cricket is the future of cricket in North America.
Yes, well, Makorishi, in addition to having MAQ TV, it's Cricket Council USA and the US Open T20 tournament, which is one of the most popular tournaments in the United States. Have you heard of it? And what's your thoughts on the US Open?
That's one of the best things that can happen to cricket in America. I mean, every American-based cricketer look forward to the US Open. Yep. Especially players in the Northeast, you know, because December cricket and Northeast, they don't go well together. But if it's being played in Florida, the guys in the Northeast, oh, they can't wait. And the cash prize is not bad either.
Yes, it's definitely not bad. Yes, and of course, kudos to Mark Qureshi for his great work in doing that. Have you met Mark Bassett?
I've met him not for a long time. We were just introduced briefly at the last Hall of Fame ceremony we had in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I did meet him then, and hopefully I'll get to talk to him some more, because what they're doing, it's fantastic. In North America, we don't like, people in North America in general, we like action sports. T20 cricket is action. North America want an action-packed with a result, no draws.
Yep, wonderful indeed. Well, Bassett, it has been a pleasure speaking to you. I'm sure we're going to speak again on MAQ TV as we move forward. I like your angle. I like your work in New York, and I think it should be reverberated right across America. Thanks for joining us on MAQ TV. We look forward to meeting up with you one day.
Thank you very much.
Well, you've heard it there from Bassett Thompson, and a champion amongst school cricketers in the United States, a Hall of Famer as well, a man who's very proud of his ring. He wears it all the time. And yes, he's showing us that as well. So continue viewing MAQ TV as we continue to provide you all the cricket entertainment. Good evening.